we need to start making more conscious material choices.
I set up an initiative called Make Fashion Circular.
It's a tsunami of change.
Welcome to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation's DIF, the interactive online event series that aims to shift mindsets and inspire action towards a circular economy. My name is Vicky, and I'll be talking to our guest about how she's on her way to becoming a climate leader and solving the restaurant waste crisis as she does it. So this is an interactive live session, so if you've got any questions, please use the hashtag ThinkDiff. And you can also comment in the section below the video on the website, and hopefully we'll get to your questions as you comment. It's been said that there really is treasure in our trash. So I'm joined with Clara. Is this true? And what are you doing about it?
Hi, Vicky. Hi, everyone. And thanks for having me here. Yes, we are used to saying that organic waste is a treasure. In French, we say très organique. It's one word in two words. I'm here today because I would like to talk to you about the solution that we are designing in France, in Boulogne, close to Paris. Vépluche, it's a solution of circular economy that's applied to organic waste. So the principle is that we collect all of the organic waste that is produced on a daily basis by the restaurants of the city of Boulogne, and we transform it into compost. We actually have created a whole loop of value. The first thing we do is that we collect all the organic waste for free. And as an exchange, we ask to the restaurants with whom we are working to commit themselves in buying vegetables from us. So this is actually the loop, veggies against peelings. That's how we called it.
And so you say that you collect the vegetables for free. So how do you kind of propose to make money out of Vépluche and what you've created?
So we collect the organic waste for free, and we deliver the vegetables. But the vegetables, they have a price that we and the restaurants pay for the vegetables. The thing is, we have to remind to ourselves the context. In France, if you're a professional, like a restaurant, you usually need to pay an external company to come in and pick up your organic waste, and they transform it into compost or biogas. And the restaurants usually have to pay because there are logistics, there are people coming over. Well, it's a service. But you can imagine that it is kind of a break for restaurants to pay for trash, literally. So what we are thinking at Vépluche is that the collection should be free of charge for the small restaurants so that they are incentivized to sort their organic waste. But we're not a charity, we're a company. And so the principle is that we collect for free, but the restaurants commit themselves in buying the vegetables. So on a daily basis, we, with a cargo bike, by the way, we try to be as virtuous and eco-friendly as possible. We have a great cargo bike that every day delivers vegetables to our restaurants, and at the same time, they pick up the organic waste.
And so do you ride the bike yourself, or have you got a team working behind you who are helping out?
I mean, I love riding the bike, and I did it at the beginning, but now we have more than 50 restaurants working with us. So you can imagine that you need a big team to work on that. And so my job is primarily to go out and prospect the restaurants in Boulogne and other and people as well, because we're starting to work with the individuals and families. So yes, we have a team that is going every day to do the tours of delivery and pickup.
And what inspired you to start Vépluche?
Well, in my family, we always did compost at home. We never threw away the peelings or anything. And so when I arrived in Paris for my studies, I was kind of shocked to see that there was no way of valorizing the organic waste. I had to put my carrot peelings in the trash. And I was like, wow, so this is a capital, this is a major world city, and there is no way of being eco-friendly. And so this problem never left my mind. And few years later, I had the opportunity to work on an entrepreneurial project at school, and it was Vépluche. It was the very beginnings. And same thing, I never left it apart. I worked on it more and more. And thanks to the mentorship program of Women for Climate, I decided to work even more on it, but I'm sure we'll be able to talk about it again later. And I had the chance to meet a great associate and partner that helped me found the society and work to save all the organic waste of Boulogne and next of the entire country.
And so what makes this idea unique? Why hasn't it been done already or is being kind of rolled out in other cities?
From as far as I know, we are the only ones to do that, to collect for free the organic waste and to deliver vegetables to create a stable business model. Having the logistics to collect the organic waste is very complex because in France we have a lot of laws and regulations that are strict. So this is an entire job, un métier à part entière. And selling vegetables is another job that you need a lot of expertise. So the innovation in Vépluche is that we combine these expertise and we create synergies to make it work. It's a really disruptive way of treating the business problem of collecting and valorizing the organic waste.
So the viewers at home will be wondering how you make money from this idea, because there is surely very little value in food waste.
For sure. Collecting organic waste has a cost. We have a cargo bike, we have employees. So yes, definitely there are costs. The goal is to compensate these costs thanks to the sales of the vegetables. That's what we are actually doing. And the next step is to create more revenues thanks to the creation of a great product, which is going to be the compost, and that you will be able to buy in garden stores or on the internet. We're going to create a real, let's say, marketable and that you can sell compost.
So we'll hope to see it on the shelves of the stores nearby soon.
Sure.
It would be great. So what challenges have you faced along the way whilst developing your business?
Well, there are a lot of challenges when you want to launch yourself in entrepreneurship. The first challenge is to have the idea, but I guess the biggest challenge is to keep it and fighting for it. As a, let's say, a young woman, I would say it's less, maybe less easy to do it because naturally you kind of ask yourself, am I going to be good enough? Am I legitimate to do that? I just finished my studies. I don't have much money. I never did that before. Is it going to work? So the challenge is to really keep believing yourself. Don't let other people turn you down or discourage you. But the important thing as well is to finding the good support around you, to really communicate with your family, friends, finding the good partners that will help you creating your project, because a project never comes true alone, I believe. You need support.
And is this
I
where
need money as well?
yeah, and is this where the role of Women for Climate has supported you in kind of that confidence and other areas? Like how have Women for Climate helped you?
Women for Climate is a mentorship program that's designed by the C40 Cities Network. It was really helpful. I guess it's the first sparkle for me, because as I was selected to develop Vépluche, I told myself, wow, so there are people interested in this project. Okay, let's go for it. And I told myself, okay, I'm going to be full-time on that during 3-4 months. And I shall see what's going to happen. And 2 weeks after deciding to be full-time on Vépluche, I met my associate that became my first investor. And we worked on the project for 1 full year. And so, yeah, this is really thanks to first Women for Climate that helped me to make the good connections and gaining this self-confidence, really.
And just for the viewers at home that maybe don't know so much about Women for Climate, sort of what is it and why was it initially started?
Women for Climate was created by the mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo, when she became I think the first lady president of the C40 Cities Network. Just to say a word about that, the C40 is designed to connect all major cities on the planet to exchange good practices regarding environment. And so Anne Hidalgo, the mayor, found that women were not implied enough in green topics, in climate change challenges. And so she decided to promote and to help young women to become leaders in facing climate change.
And just on that note, I'm actually going to hand over to another young woman who works with us here at the Foundation, Clem, and she's going to talk a little bit about what's coming up next at the DIF.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining this brilliant session with our guest Clara Duchalet. I would like to take just a minute to talk about our upcoming session at today's DIF. We continue our journey this afternoon and learn how to build our own village at 6 p.m. BST. In our closing session at 7:30 p.m. BST, we'll learn how to persuade fashion brands to embrace resale. We hope to see you there, and don't forget to use the hashtag ThinkDiff on Twitter to comment and ask any questions. You can catch up on anything you missed and find the full schedule at thinkdiff.co or on the Ellen MacArthur Foundation's YouTube channel. I would also like to take the time to remind you that it is the last call to apply to speak at our November DIF.
Great, so thanks to our colleague Clem for saying a few more words about what's coming up at the DIF, and you can also catch up on every DIF session that's gone before through our website and our YouTube channel. I am actually really interested, Clara, about finding out a little bit more about sort of how you came to the idea of Vépluche, and what were the ideas that maybe got rejected along the way, or was it always that first idea that you said, okay, this is our shining star?
Well, Vicky, the main goal, the vision that we have is that we want to save the organic waste and valorize them. So you have to know that today, like 80% of all of the organic waste that is produced in France mainly goes to burning factories, incineration factories, or they are buried and then they create methane. In both cases, it's toxic and counterproductive. So that's what we want to fight against. We want to succeed in valorizing the maximum of organic waste that is produced in this city and then in this country. We decided that the best way to valorize the organic waste was by returning it to the earth directly in the shape of compost. There are other techniques like biogas plants that we actually have studied, but we decided it was more complex and there were more costs in that. You have to invest like millions of euros, and the laws are very strict about that. And above all, when you transform the organic waste into gas, there is in French we say déperdition, like a deperdition. I don't know if it's the good word, but of energy. Whereas when you transform the organic waste into compost, everything is kept in the product. You have all the vitamins, all the nutrients, which to us, to the partners, makes it a very good way of valorizing the organic waste.
And it's really interesting what you say there. It's kind of feels like you're definitely an expert in this field. Have you worked with other experts, or have you studied this? Kind of how did you get to the point where you thought, yes, we've got a business that is going to work?
Well, when you're interested in something, you kind of naturally get passionate about that. It was kind of hard to study the laws about organic waste, etc. But once you've dug into it, it gets easier with the time. I have asked a lot of questions to the experts, but my associate, which is Quinta Investments, is actually investing they have other participations in organic waste companies. So they were experts. But together we discovered new things, new topics. So what they have taught me, amongst many things, is that you actually shouldn't blindly believe the experts. You have to listen, to take advice, but you have to dig yourself into the topics and make your own opinion, because that's how you can think out of the box and being really innovative and disruptive.
And so it feels like you guys, so you're disrupting the industry of restaurant waste. Has there ever been anyone that kind of didn't believe in you, or had an argument that they didn't think this idea would work, and how did you kind of combat that?
Well, when we tell the loop Vépluche to any of our customers or future customers, they all get it. They all think it's a great project that has a lot of sense. It's very sense making. Then, in the sales domain, there is always a discussion about the prices of the vegetables, and it's a nice negotiation. But in the end, any restaurant that we have met, is down to sorting their organic waste. They just don't want to pay for them, but they want to pay for vegetables. So that's how we make it work, basically.
And so, kind of in your industry, who are your competitors? You've said there aren't that many other people in this space, but who are you competing with?
That's a good question. Actually, in the zone of Paris, there are other companies that collect organic waste. One with bikes, like us, but nobody's selling vegetables against the collection of organic waste. So we kind of consider that the competitors, as you say, are the other companies, startups that try to collect the organic waste with restaurants or hotels, stuff like that. But the thing is, they charge for that while we don't. So it's another perspective, but we are in very good terms with these people because, as you said, there aren't that many companies that do that. So it's better to get along in order to better connect and find global solutions together.
So you're working together to kind of create value out of the organic waste.
Exactly. We have the same goal after all. We all want to save the organic waste. It's just that some of them do it since 15 years and they have other techniques. And we try to innovate in different sectors. But in the end, that's the good point about it, is that the market is huge. As I said, many organic waste are not valorized today. So there is a lot to share. So we don't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're all producing organic waste. So tell me about the importance of investment. How does a young entrepreneur go about getting investment for their ideas or businesses?
Well, I think that's the hardest part. Of course, every business is different. When you have a digital project, it's not the same costs as when you need to invest in machines like composters or cargo bikes. So we, Vépluche, have a business that necessitate investments. I personally, I consider myself super lucky because I met the right person at the right moment, and it happens to be a family investment fund. So that believe in me, believes in the project, that helped me build it from scratch. And so we work really hand in hand, but I'm perfectly aware that it's not the case for everyone, and that many projects have to convince banks or other funds, and it's not easy every day. So, but in any case, I think it's completely worth fighting for it.
We have a question in from our audience, which is, what is the most valuable thing you have learned through the Women for Climate programme?
What is the most valuable thing? To me, the main word that pops up in my mind is seriously self-confidence and benevolence. That's what I'm taking away from the Women for Climate program. It's the feeling that we actually have the abilities, the power in ourselves to make things happen, and you have to untangle all the tangles in your minds that keep you from doing it. I hope it's clear.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've got time for one more question. And what does the future hold for you and for Vépluche?
Well, that's a great question. The future is going to be amazing. We are going to work with all the restaurants in Boulogne, in Paris. We are very confident that we're going to convince many cities in France to work along with us and help us implement Vépluche in France. And if you're asking about the ambitions, next year we're going to start selling the compost. And as I just said, the objective is to really spread over Paris and over other French cities, and why not in few years other countries, I hope.
I hope so too. I hope to be seeing Vépluche products on the shelves in the UK soon. Thank you so much for absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today, Clara, and thank you for watching, everyone at home. There's still a few more sessions on this evening, and as I said, catch up on all the diff sessions that you can watch for the coming weeks. Thank you for watching.
We need to start making more conscious material choices.
Set up an initiative called Make Fashion Circular.
It's a tsunami of change.